1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Somewhere in the world, there is an anxious girl having to explain again why she refused to offer someone's offer for a donut. When they ask, "What? Do you think you're fat or something?" she feels it's probably easier to eat and suffer the consequences than have to explain to a group of people that she is gluten-free and she actually cannot eat the donut. This is just a situation people who are gluten intolerant run into far too often. Those who are on a gluten-free diet are often misunderstood. I should know because I have been gluten-free and dairy-free for 3 years now. Becoming more aware of the purpose of a gluten-free diet will help you be a little more understanding and open-minded towards those who refuse to eat the donut. Listen carefully to this discussion of what gluten is, what foods contain it, and why some people cannot have it. Let's begin with understanding what gluten actually is. The topic of gluten has been circulating in our society for a while now. It seems no one can give a good explanation as to what it actually is. The term gluten refers to a protein that acts as the glue holding food's shape. It is primarily found in wheat, rye, barley, and triticale. Although gluten sneaks its way into a lot of unexpected foods, we eat gluten almost every day. If you begin reading your food labels, you'll start to notice that wheat touches almost everything except gluten-free labels. Many things are made with wheat, such as bread, pasta, soups, and almost any baked goods. Barley is usually found in malt, beer, and soups. Rye is also found in some bread, beer, and some cereals as well. Triticale is a newer grain that is almost a combination of rye and wheat. You may also see triticale in breads, pasta, and cereals. Gluten can be added to just about anything. Often it is hidden in foods you wouldn't consider. Things like dressing, sauces, and even food coloring have high potential to contain it. Occasionally, the food itself may not contain gluten. However, the process of how the food is produced may cause contamination. Oats, for example, often are grown right next to wheat and rye and barley, which may cause cross-contamination. Many people assume the gluten-free diet is another fad and never consider those who actually cannot eat it for a valid health reason. Celiac disease is the highest in severity of all gluten intolerances. The disease is considered an autoimmune disorder, which because the immune system recognizes gluten as a foreign substance and will attack it in the stomach lining and attack the stomach lining and damage the tissue in the small intestine. This damage over time will restrict the absorption of nutrients. Symptoms of such disease include bloating, diarrhea, constipation, rashes, headaches, fatigue, and depression. Often, it is hard to diagnose because some people only experience symptoms like anemia and fatigue. Approximately 80% of people with celiac disease do not even know. Often people can become very sensitive to gluten and respond similar to those with celiac, but test negative for the disease. This is called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. People have very similar symptoms such as diarrhea, fatigue, stomach pain, bloating, and depression. It is also known for people to have a wheat allergy. Like celiac disease, the immune system recognizes the protein in wheat as a foreign invader and will respond with creating antibodies against the proteins. The immune system causes an immune response with symptoms such as congestion and breathing problems. Now you know that there is more to this fad diet than you thought. So, why should you be concerned with all this? If not your diet, why should you care? The answer is because it will save you a lot of time and effort. The more aware you are of this, the less harder it will be for everyone involved. Don't be one of those people to assume something about someone who is gluten-free anymore. A lot of people are gluten-free. Get over it. My hope is that you will be a little more understanding next time you will find out someone is, and maybe more considerate when preparing a meal for someone. Ask them about any allergies they may have and what foods they can have. They don't mean to be inconvenient, so don't mean to be ignorant.